Poetry. Love's need to explode into words. A sprout that wants to become a tree. A salmon that swims upstream, meeting death. Migration in constant search of spring. A flower between the cracks. Yes, poetry is a flower between the cracks. Oh, see, what thou strong and pensive sea. What do you want to tell me with this sending of yours? What are you hiding in the depths of your blue being? In this devastating power of yours that could make us disappear in an instant. Oh, sea, almighty sea, swinging to the rhythm of the wind, you slam violently on that rock that for a lifetime has been your only impediment. Slam now in this moment, so that I can look at you, desire and fear you at the same time. Oh, sea, oh sweet sea, cure me of every evil, of every misfortune, reprieve me with your dance. Oh wind, oh stifling wind, breathe this tear away from the face. Melancholic hides his sadness, disguised a subtle lightness, not visible to the eyes of these mortals. Oh sea, oh miraculous sea, sometimes in you I would like to disappear forever. Lying on your bottom and pushed by the currents I go around the world. Oh silence, oh noisy silence. Wrap me, and with the wind bathe my skin, so that I may feel that I am as important to you as you are to me. I want to be cave for you, O sea. I want to be rock for you, O sea. I want to be fish in you, O sea. I want to be current through you, O sea. I want to be wind in you, O sea. O sea, how I fear you, O sea. How I long for you. Good. On this wave, I would like to talk to you about the sea. I choose the theme of letting oneself be cradled, be loved, of learning to float, even through pain. And not because I wanted to open this presentation in a painful way, I actually want to celebrate pain. We often believe that pain is something bad, but pain is actually a very important part of our life, of everyone's life. One has to go through it, has to let oneself be rocked by the sea and learn how to float. You know, I've discovered something important, and I discovered it recently. The books I write are like predictions of the future, with one eye looking back at the past. I realized that the somatic traits of my very essence are contained within my pain. Before, I used to think I had to avoid pain. But today, when it comes, I sit in silence and I listen to it. And there, I see this little man holding a candle, trying to shed light on the total darkness that surrounds him. And this little man, whom I could always see from far, slowly is getting closer and closer. And this pain that for years, I kept inside, hiding it even from myself, I can finally see it. And this little man is approaching me, and eventually I'm approaching him too. And we met, And we meet in those moments of silence when everything seems lost. But in truth, nothing is ever lost. And today I carry this pain with me, always, everywhere. It is the memory of the happiness that opposes it. Essential, but as important as the pain that belongs to all of us. And that's it about pain. I didn't want to be so painful, but I felt like it was important to talk about the pain. But let's change topic. Over time, I met many different people. As you might know, I am a dancer, choreographer, teacher, and writer. I can add some more stuff, but I don't want to bore you about it. Dance actually has allowed me to travel widely, and in these journeys, I met a lot of people, ordinary people, people like us. And these people, if inspired by a stimulating conversation, they had a lot to share, a lot to say. And you know, I felt like I just needed to create the right environment for them, to let them feel comfortable, like maybe tonight, you know, like we are. And you know what I found out? I found out that eventually, almost everyone writes. And for me, at least, writing is a refuge. It's sometimes a therapy, it's imagination, it's flying. It's maybe flying away from reality, a reality that sometimes I don't want to face. But when we write those words, we materialize them. Our fears, our thoughts, our worries, joys, sorrows, they all take form. And this is what writing is for me. Let's smile at each other. Let's smile at each other before we forget. Let's smile at each other before it's too late. Let's smile at each other so as not to get lost in the obscure soul. Let's smile at each other to find light where darkness reigns. And the gazes judge without expressing themselves. Let's smile at each other because it is right. Because seriousness sucks. Sovereignty, greed, success, failure. Yes, and then what? What else but to smile? Let's smile at each other, also in private. You and me, on our own. In silence. Please. Everything around wants to show itself. Let's smile at each other as a way to distract from protagonism, mistreatment, and abuses. Let's smile at each other and smile at them. They need it too. I want to say that I've heard that there was in the government they were discussing about the law to tax applauses, but the applauses are not yet taxed. So you can applaud until it's free. Applaud now because it's free, okay? I wanted to create a pleasant evening, a quite soft evening, not a show, but a dialogue. Sorry, I feel like this side, also because my left shoulder is always closed, so I feel like you are basically the best. I will talk to you now. Sorry. I hope that during this evening, some of you want to talk, also like to me, or if you have questions, if you want to interrupt in me while I speak, please do it. Because for me, dialogue is something very dynamic. You know, there is a rhythm. One has to know how to listen and how to wait. You know, just rhythms. So please do it when you feel like, even without raising your hand. Also for this, I mean, there is no tax about this too. But, you know. So as I was saying before, during my travels, I met so many people, so many different people, really a lot, and I keep meeting them. And there is something special about, and you know, each of us It's very normal. We meet a lot of people, and tonight, in fact, some of you are new to each other, some others, they maybe know each other. And, I feel like that's the way how we feed our knowledge. That's how we keep growing through encounters. And it often happened that we fall in love. Sorry, I was already thinking of the next with a smile. And for me especially, I fall in love with women. I want to say falling in love is different than loving. And I think it's important to say. Because falling in love is sometimes misleading, it has the taste of love, but eventually it's not love afterwards. But yeah, I don't want to talk about love now. Sorry. I met this, no, I was talking about women. Why? First of all, because I like women, so it's my taste. Second of all, because I think because I feel like women, the feminine body is a unique body, it's a great energy, and I think it's connected to creation. I mean, women, they give birth, they give life, and it's not a thing we poor men should forget. But exactly about women, I remember this encounter once. I was in a place, and the work situation wasn't so good. But this woman, this encounter, made me reflect on what was happening, and with her energy, she reminded me of something really important: to smile. And that meant a lot to me. And it takes me back to Switzerland, Lausanne. Switzerland is a beautiful place. They have great living, and the nature is beautiful. The lake, the food also tastes better than here. Like in Italy, sorry, but maybe if you go to the market, it's a really good quality here. But generally, you always get good food. But let's not talk about food and love. Otherwise, you think the usual Italian are talking about food and love. This encounter, this woman with her energy, the big green eyes, her smile, she reminded me something really important: to be kind to others. And to be kind even to those people who look at you in a hostile way, with tough face, It's important to smile, because when you smile, you are throwing an atomic bomb. No one expects a smile. And smiling, sorry, I need to change. And smiling, it's for me also an occasion to create a big bang. It's like you change the situation into something completely different that no one expects. And it is us, only us, who have the power to change what surrounds us. It may sound absurd, but we are those courageously common people. That's the title of the book. And with that courage, we must smile at life situations. Not because we should always be happy. Constant happiness is not real, that's not the point. But because a smile costs nothing, also that is not taxed by the government. And the smile can change everything, inside and outside. You're already doing everything, so let's smile even right now, but you're already doing that. And this is the part of the night which I like, personally. I like a small taste for horrible jokes, And but before that, I always wish that somebody can come here, or I can come to you if the mic will. Yeah, I think it will work somehow. And you can tell a fun fact or a joke. So this is the moment in which I pass the mic to somebody. And I know maybe English is not your language, but you can tell a story if you want. If not, you have to listen to my horrible jokes. So please, really, I will place it here. Or if you don't feel comfortable, you tell me, hey, come to me. But if you have some stories, please share it with me. I know now he has nice stories. But I don't want to call him.
I think Jeremy has.
He must have some jokes.
Right, somebody has some jokes. Also because this is something we are losing, that before we were used to tell, at least in Italy, we were used to tell a lot of jokes. Like when we were kids, we didn't have, phones or nothing. And we were telling jokes, so Jeremy,
I don't have a joke, but I can tell a story. Yeah, good evening everyone, and thanks Greta. I actually had a story about a smile. I had the fortunate opportunity to go for a very long bike tour, which took me from Germany all the way to the border of China. And it was a hugely privileged situation to kind of waltz into these countries with a passport that demanded nothing but a bloodline which has been associated with France and the UK. And I got to a certain point where my ability to speak English or French or German didn't hold me in good stead. And thank goodness for Google Translate, it helped me to get my point across in Russian or whatever. But one thing that always did connect was the smile. It is a universal language. And one of my favourite moments was I was in Tajikistan, in the east of Tajikistan, which is known as the Pamir land for the Pamiri people, who are subject to genocide from the Tajik government. And I was going through what's known as the Bartang Valley, which is in the mountains in Tajikistan, and I'm about 3,500, 4,000 meters in altitude, and it's extremely remote, and I didn't see anybody for about 3.5 days. And I came to this confluence in a river where two rivers meet and join to be one. And it was the first time I'd seen anybody in 3 days, and there was 3 cows, a yurt, which is what the Pamiri people live in the remote areas, and 2 kids playing on the other side of the river. And we weren't able to get to each other, the snows were melting, the river was pretty rushed, pretty aggressive, and it was just this 2 worlds looking at each other. I'm on a bicycle, wearing a helmet, and looking very different to 2 very young, beautiful Pamiri children playing with their cows and running around and throwing sticks. And the only thing that connected us was the universal language of a smile and a wave. And they carried on with their life, and I carried on with my adventure, and yeah, so that's my story.
Wonderful. No, sorry, now I was thinking about something else. Hi, my name is Martin. I do drink since. No, it looks like this. No, I'm joking. Thank you for the. It's true. The smile is. It's really a universal language. I mean, sometimes even with old people, I feel like sometimes I also in my travels I've just communicated with them. Maybe in Greece, I don't speak Greek, of course. And with them, we're just like, smiling to people. And this is something actually I keep on doing everywhere. Even here in Germany, after 11 years not speaking German, I smile. And say, yeah, klar. Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry about that. Anyway, I still wanted to say some jokes because I want to be hurried a bit, and I brought it for you. So, what kind of music do bubbles hate?
Pop music.
Bravo! Amazing! Yes, wonderful. Another one. How did the picture ended up in prison?
Huh?
How did the picture end up in prison?
How did the picture end up in prison?
Framed.
It was framed. Yes. It's almost like a quiz. So why did the bullet lose its job?
It got shot.
It was fired. Of course. Why is Peter Pan always flying? He never lands. That's really bad. How does the ocean say hi?
It waves.
Well, you know everyone. Okay, and what do you call a magic dog, Jeremy?
A magic dog?
Yeah.
I was going to say hot dogs, I don't know.
Oh, that's nice, actually. A labracadabrador. Where do cows go on Friday nights? The movies. Last one, and then I stop with this. Why was Cinderella so bad at soccer? Why she was so bad at soccer?
She kept losing her shoes.
No, something like that, yeah.
She kept running away from the ball. It was a finesse. Okay, and by the way, thank you for this small window. Do you have any other story you want to share? No?
I have something.
Oh, please come. We have.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Did you read it?
An applause, please.
So it's about friendship and family and goals. This guy here with the camera, this is Kaspar. Like, I'm his uncle, you know. He's we see us, let's say, every night, and we have creative moments, and we play around with works, with music, and we have something. Kaspar?
Do you want a beat?
Yeah, I need a reggae beat. Everybody. Mein Name ist Kaspar. Ich fahre einen Laster. Ich will nach Nebraska. Oh nein, nochmal. Hey, mein Name ist Kaspar. Ich fahre einen Laster. Ich will zu Naspa. Ich hol ein bisschen Zaster. Ich will nach Nebraska. Da ist die Tante Tanja. Denn die will ja. Oh Mann, wie war's?
It's just that I would say the first part of it you are still extending the version. Yeah, it's a work in progress. I heard it already. It was wonderful. Thank you. No, by the way, this is what I'm talking about. This is the encounter. There is a part in each of us that longs to be remembered forever. Beyond time, beyond space, this part urges us to make something that can go forever. Yet, unknowingly, each of us already writes a tiny piece of history, some more, some less. So why this desire? Is everything we are experiencing right now being enjoyed to the fullest? Are we feeling this moment with full and conscious attention? Isn't that truly the answer? Let's imagine our life as a train. The starting point is the beginning, the birth. The arrival station is death, the end of life. In between, depending on the train and the route, there might be more or fewer passing stations. Why then not to leave an eternal mark on each of these stations, or at least at one of them? I'm sure that hearing these words, someone must be thinking, gee, it's true. Why didn't I think of that before? Exactly this is what I'm talking about. Thinking about. What is this thinking without action? We are locked into the idea of eternity like passengers on a train waiting for their arrival. They do not even bother to look out the window and enjoy the view. They wait for their arrival in the facility of their own thoughts, circuits, dominated. We are awakened dreamers, worried about the mark that we will never leave since it was lost, abandoned, already at birth. This text is perfectly reflected in the title, Courageously Commons. I want to explain something. Courageously Commons, for maybe some of you know, some others don't know, is not the correct form in English. Courageously is an adverb, correct me, Jeremy, if I'm wrong. Commons is a noun. And the title in Italian is Coraggiosamente Comuni, which is a plural form to say, I am not the only courageously common. We are the courageously common. But I didn't want to put we courageously commons to differentiate from the Italian title. So I prefer to hazard a bit, because the commons are the goods, the things we share, like air, water, these things are the commons, our goods that are shared in society between people. So this text speaks about the courage of being common, to accept one another. We were born, and the very moment we were born, we left our mark. The rest is life. It's not about the arrival, it's about the departure, the voyage. That is life. The arrival is evolution, it's not even an ending. So this text speaks about going through life, but also about remembering the mark that we left at the very beginning. We were born, and that itself is a great opportunity. But let's not just hold on to that idea. Remember to look out of the window during the journey. And maybe every now and then get off at one of the stops and take a walk. Because that's what it is all about, right? So, life is like a tree, from Wiesbaden to Lausanne, right? Maybe often we are all focused about the arrival, but in between there are so many wonders. And if we just change our plans, sometimes we could stop at the station, a random one, for a whole day. Maybe let's say in Strasbourg, because I've been doing many times Wiesbaden, Lausanne, and Strasbourg is one of the stops. Maybe let's say we stop in Strasbourg and get off, and we enjoy the unpredictability of the choice we just made, and a lot of opportunities can open. Then maybe we get back on the train. I say maybe because maybe we get back, maybe we stay, we don't know. And eventually we arrive in Lausanne, but between Wiesbaden and Lausanne, there is a sea. There is a whole sea of life. I need to drink some water, sorry. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, who am I today? Maybe let's pause for a moment and everyone just think about it. Who am I today? If I think about myself, lately, maybe I'm not asking this question directly to myself. It's just in the back of my head, in the back of my everyday. And this question, who am I today, requires deep introspection. It requires observation, listening, deep listening. But not only that, also requires acceptance and forgiveness, which I found that forgiving, letting go and accepting, at least for me, still today are the hardest things to do. Exactly those three: to accept, to forgive, and to let go. And every morning, who am I today? Who am I today? Like a mantra. And if I asked you, who are you today?
Today,
Yeah, in this moment.
in this moment, Rahel, the melancholic, thinking woman.
And I feel like this is what I realize personally. Maybe it's not the same for everybody, but I feel like sometimes we struggle trying to find an answer to this question. And this is just more confusing than we think. I found that the most interesting thing of this question is the question itself, not the answer we give. And there is this phrase of Socrates, which is one of my favorite Greek philosopher, which says, "I know that I don't know." And as of today, I know that I don't know. And this has helped me a lot to go through acceptance, forgiveness, and let it go. And still is the hardest thing to do, but to accept, to forgive, and to let go. That's for me what it is all about. There are places of the never which can be found in the time of the nothing, where everything is happening with a precise randomness. Places where the language of silence is spoken and music that has never been written is heard. Where you meet people who are waiting. Whether they are waiting for you or not doesn't matter. Where you greet the other with a smile, and every time you bump into each other, it is always the first time. You sit next to each other, looking into each other's eyes, and conversing with infinite smiles, all different, each unique. And there is no need to justify yourself if you smile in a different way than usual. You just smile. That smile is true. It hides nothing. It is not a mask worn. It's a mask left behind, thrown away forever, as of this moment. Naked. In this place of the never, in the time of the nothing, dictated by precise randomness, where the language of silence is spoken and music that has never been written is heard, where there are people waiting who doesn't really matter, where the greeting is a smile and every time you bump into each other, it is always the first time, you forget who you are and who you have been. Everything disappears, giving space for space to exist, like everything else. In one point, the whole universe. An applause for Lars, please. And this is the moment that I call the light moment, okay? Fantasy. Fantasy is a bit like a life jacket. If one day we were to sink, well, that jacket somehow would help us stay afloat. And for me, fantasy is something very deep, yet very light. And it carries this eternal contrast. And it takes me to places that maybe don't even exist. But at the same time, it takes me away from reality, a reality that sometimes I don't want to face. And I think we all take refuge in our fantasy, in our imagination. So much so that sometimes we create our own realities, fantastic realities, worlds that don't even exist. Many of us even learn to live inside these realities, inside these worlds, and this can be dangerous sometimes. It's like a matrix. But it's not the danger I want to talk about. I want to talk about the light side of fantasy, the easy side, the beautiful, colorful side. And I really love this image of the tree. You know, a tree has like roots deeply grounded in the earth, and the branches growing up to the sky, and on the side too, of course. And I wish for us to be like trees, with our roots, our feet firmly on the ground, but with our heads, our imagination reaching the sky. A vertical and horizontal growth, a three-dimensional growth, where we can embrace everything. And this piece of writing that you just heard was born from a moment of need, a moment in which I needed to get away from reality, and this reality that just feels too harsh sometimes. And in this moment, we need lightness. Lightness is essential. So I would say that fantasy is what accompanies us to those places where we don't yet have the courage to go. world in reverse. An upside down world, where the sky is under our feet and the earth over our heads, the sea over our heads. How wonderful to look up and see the sea, to see the trees over our heads stretching towards us. We who from below the sky observe them, seeing ourselves reflected in that sea above us. How wonderful. We would sleep on fluffy clouds, jumping from one to another. It will look like fish are flying. Yes, we would see them flying in this transparent mirror over us. We would see dolphins leaping out the water as if to join us for a brief moment. A moment. And there would be no houses but blue below, light blue and white. Think it would rain upwards. And looking down, we would see the wonder of the universe, the stars, the galaxies, this cosmic darkness illuminated by patches of light here and there. And we would feel the need to fly to Earth, which we will finally be able to observe in all its glory. With its 1,000 colors, its 1,000 seasons passing. There, it is autumn. Look up, look at the tree. Look at its leaves, what a magnificent red. And the green of spring with its hues, it would rain leaves on our heads in autumn. Maybe other things as well. Imagine. Anything is possible there. Okay. Today, I want to leave you with this wish. The opposite ends of anything demonstrate the reality of life, of believing, of being. Each of us is good and evil, right and wrong, man and woman, and through this we must flow, like water that knows no doors, walls, or stops. To move, even when standing still, to stop, even while moving. I experienced this myself. My maximum resting time exists only when I'm resting. And no matter how much I'm struggling or how much I'm moving, I am there, motionless, aligned, silent, connected. I am the mountain and I am Muhammad. I am the sky and the earth. I am the fire and the water. I am life and death. Dance this colorful existence. Dance fatigue and rest. Dance rain and sun. Dance joy and sorrow. Dance suspended on a Tibetan bridge where the whole cosmos unites. Sorry, I just laughed because I'm in ecstasy. And I didn't take any drugs. So here we are. At the end of this little journey we share together. And I want to thank everyone for being here, for choosing to take part, to talk, to share, to listen and to get to know each other, because this is what it's all about in the end. This is the reason why I usually do these kind of events. Okay, and smile because we are here. Smile because this moment is an opportunity to be alive. Smile because tonight is a wish for life. And don't forget to look around and smile. We are alive every single day, and we must take care of ourselves, our body, our spirit, our emotions, our mind. I remind myself this constantly. It's not easy, but I try. and we all try. Feel free to sit. This is the ending of the show. It's not an ending, it's an opening. It's a beginning, it's an evolution. And once again, I want to say thank to Navid, which, as is already shared before, is a brother, neighborhood friend, honor place, to Lars, wonderful artist and I would say colleague in crime, because it's not the first time that we do something together. And I want to say thank to my editor of the book, Vera Gioverde, and the illustrator of the 10 illustrations inside the book, and the front page, and Sofia Giacalone, I have to say it. And what I want to say more? Yeah, I want to thank Jeremy also, because quietly he reviewed the translation done in English, so it's not his responsibility, but he gave good help, because English is not my language, you know. And I'm open to any kind of question right now, so if you have any question, this is a good moment to ask whatever you feel like. Don't feel ashamed or shy. Take a second. One at a time, please.
I have, when I was reading through your book, a question that came up often to me. I suppose it's not even a question. My mind was like, I wonder where he's written this poem, or where he is right now in the past writing this. So I suppose my question is, was there a set place? I know it would have been a bit over everywhere, but is there a common place where you would write, or a common time, or a common emotion, or a common theme to when you were writing these poems?
Wow. Thank you. It's a really good question. I never thought about it. I mean, generally, as for everything I do, I follow my guts. So my guts sometimes can be in a train. My guts sometimes can be at the bar, or they can be, I don't want to say other places. Maybe it's, I had a long night, and or I did a show, and after I come back to the hotel room, for example, remember this moment in which I wrote one of the texts in a hotel room in Germany. I don't remember where exactly, I think it was close to Nuremberg. And it was this particular moment I was coming back, and I was hungry and thirsty. Okay, I didn't have any food because it was late, the show finished late. And we had to come back to the hotel, because when I get hungry, I get angry, and I didn't want to see anybody anymore. So it's like, fuck everybody, I'm just gonna go to the hotel. And thinking about ordering some liferando, but it was even late for that, some delivery or whatever. So it was nothing. And I reach the floor, I get out of the elevator, I go to my room, believe me, I find a box of pizza on the floor and a water. The box of pizza was like half a pizza.
You didn't eat it.
I eat it, of course I did. Of course I did. Are you crazy? Half the pizza entire was outside there, and she's like, Martin, you need to eat me. And the water was full, closed, and a rose. You know, so it wasn't for me, it wasn't outside of my room, it was in another room. So I imagine the cameras the morning after looking for But you know, that was a moment in which I wrote a text, which is not in this book, but because I have so many texts, like I write a lot, really a lot. And in fact, now I'm working on my third book, which is maybe the first novel, yeah. That is not a collection. And this, for example, this I can tell you because it's really connected to what you asked. The writings and the moments are dated and located. So it's really easy to guess where I was in this other book. But yeah, where my guts are, I write. There is not a specific place. Yeah.
a question. This is your second book, right? So when you were writing, you knew you might publish your writings. And some of the writings are very intimate. Did the fact of knowing that would be published had an impact on you? Did you filter a little bit what you would write? Or when you publish, you select something that can be shared or not?
No filters. Absolutely not. No. There is no need for it. And I feel like it's not something I like to, if I decide that I want to put something on the book, I want to put that thing on the book. Sometimes it can be really intimate, or like personal, but I usually don't put even names, generally when I write. So this thing, it's really maybe something that I do consciously, but I also don't need to put names when I write, you know what I mean? Of situations connected to a personal moment or an intimate moment. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Not if that answer to the
No,
question.
like when I write, I know nobody's gonna read my writing, so I feel very free to write.
Mm.
But you knew already you would publish. When you select your things to publish, do you say like knowing, oh my god, everyone is gonna read this, or you don't feel like pressured about sharing some thoughts or some...
No, I don't feel pressured. No. Yeah, I just put it in. I chose the one I wanted to put because the book is divided in 10 chapters also. So there are letters I write to people, letters I write to myself, ode to C. There is a chapter C. Another one encounters. So it's very various, and depending on the chapters, I choose to put this and that because I liked it, not because it was hiding something or because one was more personal than another. I just put it. Shoot it now, whatever. Really, whatever you want.
Can we read the book and then invite you again? Ask the
Yeah,
questions?
we can do it after. Yeah, nice. That's a nice, also, that's a nice perspective. That's nice. Okay. I am a poet.
I have a question. Sorry,
No,
bad timing. Are there specific questions that you want us to think of when we read when we read your book? Like your top 5 questions we need to ask ourselves when we read it, because those are the 5 questions that went on your mind most when you're writing it.
Good question too. No, because I think that the only thing one should get out of the reading of the book is the reflection of himself or herself. So for me, this book is like a mirror,
I know, but it is not always easy. Everyone is so in their heads with their life, and obviously we all miss perspectives in certain areas because we all have a different color code in how we see the world. But like they said, sometimes it's easier to find a question, to find an answer if you know the question. We might watch the same movie, but everyone else will see different details. So in order to have a perspective of, in this case, the author, we could just add some questions that could help us see or reflect in a different light. Because otherwise, we're just going to reflect it based on how we always do it.
I believe that the only question you have to ask yourself when you read it is already in the title. The title is a question. Am I courageously common? So I think this is the only question you have to ask once you read it, once you read every poem, every story, every letter, do you see your courageous side of being common in what you're reading? How do you see that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because courageously common is just simply the fact of being ourselves. And I always say that this book could have been written by anybody. Because we are all on the same page, sharing the same experiences. The form is different, the aesthetic is different, but the substance, it's fear, it's pain, it's joy, it's sorrow, it's confusion, it's emotions, you know? I feel like the core of everything what I write are just the emotions we share. So I think that's the question. How do I see myself as a courageously common person in this what I'm reading? Will I be as courageous as what is written in this point? Will I feel this pain in the same way as this person is feeling it? That's why I said the mirror, you know? I got too deep?
No?
No.
Perfect.
I don't wanna give questions because that's not the way how I don't like that personally. But I think the title is a question. Am I courageously common? This is a good question.
I think I will read your book and paint a picture.
That's nice.
This is my art, my way to show my feelings, and when I read a book, I can paint. Maybe your book will inspire me.
Yeah, no, it's true. I feel like everything what we see and hear and read is inspiration for life, for art, for relationship, for everything. No? I mean, at least this is what is also the process I've been doing. Reading opened a world to me, a lot of questions I didn't have before. And when I read, for example, Siddhartha, okay? When I read Siddhartha, I didn't have any questions when I approached the book. But then afterwards, oh my God, so many. It's good, it's interesting also the opposite process of approaching to something with question. This I will keep it for myself as self-investigation, as you know. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for the question. Stimulating. I never thought about it.
Yeah, I liked it too. Nice question.
Questions? Okay. That's yours. Okay. Yeah. I am a poet. I am a mystic. A dancer. I am a farmer. I am a tree. A camp. A flower. I am a caressing hand. And sleep. I am closed lips. I am sighs. As well the chest. I am the station and train. I am a smiling child. I am disobedience and photography. I am a painter and a comedian. I am chewed sandwich and spit on the ground. I am hot asphalt, a sun. And then again, cloud, shadow, light, house, candle, country, vineyard. I am tracks, departure and destination. Melted snow that becomes a river and then an ocean, and then I become rain, then I am umbrella. And tear hidden by wetness. I am explosion, I am meditation, vibration. And rock, I am. I am an earthquake, I am foundations and land. I am the animal trampling it. I am the bird that protects it. I am the fish that knows it in the guts. and core, smile, love, and God. I am universe. I am infinite, eternal. And I am circle. I am the borderline, bordering, embankment, and working wave, and works. I am the answer to all non-existent questions. I am the path on water and the dark, castle and snowy peak, and bridge and heartbeat. Courageously common I am, without I, energy, the silence. I am oblivion. I am beginning and the end. Beginning and the end. Beginning and